Welcome everyone, video lesson number 7, ratios, rates, and unit rates. Today's question of the day says, what are some similarities and differences between ratios, rates, and unit rates? So I'd like to see some similarities and differences between those three ideas. Let's go ahead and get started. Some key vocabulary. A rate is a comparison of two quantities of different units. That reminds me very much so of ratios. For example, a person read 63 pages in 3 hours is a rate. So I wrote our rate of 63 pages in 3 hours. I wrote that as a fraction with 63 as the numerator and 3 hours as our denominator. Let's continue. A unit rate is a rate with 1 in the denominator. That's big. Has a 1 in the denominator. For example, if a person reads 63 pages in 3 hours, which is our rate, then the unit rate is blank pages for every 1 hour. Let's take a look. We know that 63 pages all over 3 hours, that is equivalent to our rate. That's the speed in which they read for 3 hours. We need to figure out how many pages this person reads in 1 hour. So I see that if I do 3 divided by 3, I end up getting 1. 63 divided by 3, and I end up getting 21. That means that this has a unit rate of 21 pages for every 1 hour. That means in order to find the unit rate when we're given a rate is just divide the numerator by the denominator, and that will give us a denominator of 1. If we were to look at these rates and unit rates as ratios, those two ratios together would be called equivalent ratios. In this case, 63 to 3 is an equivalent ratio of 21 to 1. Let's move to example 1. It says Robert drove 221 miles in 4 hours. What is his average rate in miles per hour? So if we want to find miles per hour, that will tell us that we need to figure out some number of miles per every 1 hour. We have to find the unit rate when we're given a rate. Our rate in this case is 220 miles all over 4 hours. In order to get our denominator of 1, we have to divide 220 divided by 4. So 220 divided by 4 is 55 miles. So what is his average rate in miles per hour? Robert drove at an average rate of 55 miles per hour. So this fraction right here, 55 miles all over 1 hour, that is our unit rate. If we were to look at these two rates as ratios, we have 220 to 4 and 55 to 1. Just like from above, these guys are known as equivalent ratios. Example number 2, a sports drink powder requires 3 scoops of powder mix to make 4 quarts of sports drink. Using the same rate, what is the amount of sports drink powder needed for 1 quart of sports drink? We were given a rate here, 3 scoops of powder mix to make 4 quarts of sports drinks. So I can write our rate as 3 scoops for every 4 quarts. The question wants us to find how much sports drink powder we need for 1 quart. So take a look. We have a 1 in our denominator. That means we need to find our unit rate. Just like we did earlier, in order to find the unit rate, we divide our denominator. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 3 divided by 4 is simply 3/4. Those of you who ended up doing it the long way here, 3 divided by 4, you'll end up getting an answer of 0.75. 3/4 is equivalent to 0.75, so either way it is correct. I'm going to write, you would need 3/4 of a scoop of powder mix to make 1 quart of sports drink. So in this case, we were given a rate of 3 scoops to 4 quarts, and we found the unit rate by dividing both the numerator and denominator by 4. Let's move to example number 3. Example number 3 says Maria babysat 2 hours each night for 4 nights. She earned a total of $120 babysitting. How much did Maria earn per hour of babysitting? So based on the question, what they want us to find is they want us to find how much she earned per hour. So dollars for every 1 hour. That's what we want to get in the end. We have to find the unit rate in which she gets paid dollars per hour. Let's read into this question. The first sentence says, Maria babysat 2 hours each night for 4 nights. So we can start to make a rate by finding the total number of hours that she worked. If she worked 2 hours each night for 4 nights, that means she worked a total of 8 hours. Now, she earned a total of $120 babysitting. So our rate can be written as $120 over 8 hours. So based on this rate of $120 over 8 hours, we can find the unit rate by dividing 120 by 8. When I divide 120 by 8, I get a quotient of $15. That tells me that my unit rate is $15 for every 1 hour. So the question says, how much did Maria earn per hour? Maria earned $15 per hour of babysitting. Just to take this one last step further, I know that the ratio of 120 to 8 is equivalent to 15 to 1. Those two ratios are known as equivalent ratios. All right, there it is, everyone. That is video lesson number 7 on ratios, rates, and unit rates. I'm hoping that you're able to see some similarities and differences between those three. Thank you very much. Have a great day.